Breakers, welcome to another Rebel Role Model interview. We've got at least 4 of you live already, and we've already got comments before we've even appeared on the screen. Hello, Charlotte. Lovely to see you, lovey, and I hope you're doing okay. And Kay, also lovely to see you. I can't see who else is live. I know we've got a few, and we've got numbers building a little, so that's great. Please post your comments in and your questions and all of those things. You may need to give StreamYard permission for us to see your name. Hello, Paul. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Facebook user, whoever you are. Oh, and hi, Nadia. This is good. We've got a nice build up. So welcome to another Rebel Role Model interview. We have got a flurry of these going on. I've got 4 scheduled in for you, including this one. So I'm really, really excited about this good stuff that we've got. And every single one of them is very, very different from the others. Hi, Oanka. This one is going to kick us off on a great start for the rest of the interviews that we've got lined up over the next month or so for you. And I want to introduce you to a fabulous lady who has been in my world for a little while now, and who very recently did a masterclass for us in the Rebel Yell VIP Club on law of attraction and money blocks. And this lady I always describe as an absolute ray of sunshine. She's got a bundle of energy. She's got a real positive outlook, and she has skills in rapid transformational therapy and also lots of other amazing things. And I'm going to not tell you any more about that because she's going to do that herself. Let me introduce you to Andie Tennant Cox. Welcome, Andie.
Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see everyone. And I'd like to welcome Charlotte and Kate and Paul and Tracy, Ianka, Nadia. Welcome. Thank you very much. And the Facebook user.
Yeah. Hi, Lynn.
Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Ianka spelt a name wrong.
It's a great honor to be here tonight. And yes, I'm open to answering any questions anyone's got about what we talk about tonight. And I just want everyone to really enjoy this and feel like fanning your feathers and being, happy on a Thursday evening.
Too bloody right. I love it. So we're reaching the end of the week, looking towards the weekend, and what we definitely could do with is a good shot of Andie to see us through that last hurdle of the week. So Andie, first of all, tell us a little bit about you, your story, what you do, anything that's going to give us a good flavour of who you are, and in a rebellious way.
Oh, well, a little bit about me. Where shall we start? Well, I'm going to start from where I am now.
Great.
And then go backwards, because I like being pretty unconventional about these things. I am a mindset reset coach.
Ooh.
So I have recently rebranded who I was. I was going under this sort of metanoia lifestyle, and then I realized that you can't have the metanoia lifestyle without a mindset reset.
Tell us about metanoia, first of all, because that will be a term that is probably not familiar to some people. And Percy, please do not dig the carpet when I'm live. Thank you.
Hey, Percy. Metanoia is a Greek word, and it means your journey of transformation in the mind, body, and soul. So I stumbled across it in a dream.
Ooh, I love that.
And then the following day, I woke up from my dream, and there was a post on Facebook mentioning metanoia. So I had 2 signs, and I'd asked the universe, because I'm a bit like that.
That's not so much of a nudge as a kick up the bum, is it?
Yeah. So I thought, yeah, that's what my company is going to be called. And it was lifestyle, because I believe that, your journey is about your fitness, your health, and the whole package. But what I've learned from being with certain people is what they're actually lacking is a mindset reset. So you can have all the good intentions in the world, but if your mindset hasn't been reset, and that is what rapid transformational therapy does. It resets your mind so you can move forward. And I'll explain a little bit about that, because I think
RTT it's known as, isn't it? And some people will be very familiar with that, and others not so much.
It's created by a wonderful lady called Marissa Peer. And I've trained under her, and she is amazing.
She is an absolute powerhouse, isn't she?
Yes, absolutely. And she has treated people from Hollywood giants to royal family to famous sports people, and had most incredible results. And I stumbled across her on the platform called Mind Valley.
Yes, I was a Mind Valley person for a good while.
Yes, and so I did her module on Mind Valley, and it transformed my life and where I wanted to go. And luckily, I say thank goodness for lockdown. I mean, I would quite like to be a rebel and not stayed in my house, because I believe, in freedom of speech, but that's another subject altogether.
We could go there for a few hours, I'm sure.
That's not what this is about, is it? So I'm not going to be swayed. So I did her course, and it really helped me gain my confidence, helped me find out who I really was and what was holding me back. Things like middle child syndrome, being always told that money didn't grow on trees, or money was the root of all evil. So basically, in rapid transformational therapy, or RTT, we put you into hypnosis. Now, I like to call this putting you into a relaxed state.
Yeah.
Because this isn't hypnosis like I'm going to make you run around like a chicken.
Yeah, and there's a lot of misconceptions about hypnosis, isn't there? I'm trained in hypnotherapy as well, and it does frighten people sometimes, but it doesn't feel like you think it's gonna feel, does it?
How I'll explain it is, when you drive your car and you're on a route you know really well, and you zone out.
Yeah.
You have actually gone
into a light
hypnosis.
trance. Yeah.
So
hopefully only a light trance.
Yes, a light trance, but it is the equivalent of what I do. That's the state that.
Or you walk away from your car and you think, have I locked the door?
Yes.
Or have I switched the oven on?
Yes.
Or yeah.
And then we open the door of the subconscious mind, and we ask it, subconscious mind, what do you want to reveal to us, basically? So somebody will come with a confidence issue, and we ask the subconscious, what is causing this confidence issue? And the subconscious mind gives us particular scenes. And then we look at the scenes. And meanwhile, the client is talking to me about what's going on. So you're with it. You can come out of hypnosis at any time.
Yeah, you're in full control.
Full control. And then we've asked the subconscious mind for all this information. It gives us, then we can see a link, or you, the client, sees a link between all these, that maybe it was something a brother said, or it might have been the fact you didn't have a voice as a child because you were the middle child, which was my case. By being a middle child, my voice stopped.
Right. Okay.
Because I was a diplomat. So I didn't upset anybody.
You're a mediator.
Yes, yes, that was my role. So my subconscious mind showed me all these scenes of me keeping quiet when inside I was screaming about what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then we link up yourself with your child you, and we get you to love yourself as that child, and then merge together so you become one whole being. And that is really powerful.
And is that similar to parts work? I'm doing this because in NLP you actually get people to bring the parts together, right?
We rapid transformational therapy is partly an NLP.
Yeah.
So it is parts work, absolutely. And then I come to the fun bit, which I absolutely love doing, is when we destroy and eliminate and all those limiting beliefs. I mean, we've thanked them. We've said, thank you so much for being in our life. But now you no longer have a purpose in our life. So
and that gratitude process is really important, isn't it?
Very important. Yeah, absolutely. So the gratitude is all about thanking those parts because they played a part. Normally they've kept you safe.
Yeah.
It's very
There's
common.
a purpose, but they've mistranslated that
Yes,
a little bit in the process.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, a stammer is very common in middle children. Yeah, very, very common. Because it's all to do with here.
Yeah.
Not having a voice.
Yeah.
And not being heard. So of course the stammer would be a way of, in a way, it's a bit of a protection thing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So we thank these parts for doing what they did. They kept us safe. They protected us. And then we bash them and destroy them. And then at the beginning of the session, I've asked the person, what did they want their life to look like? So when I had my session, I said I wanted my world I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to have amazing career. I wanted to wear these beautiful bright clothes and be myself. Like this is me.
That should like you epitomizing a piece of clothing, isn't it?
Yes. And yes, it is me in a piece of clothing. You're so right, Emma. And I just feel so fantastic. I did a post yesterday, I'll make you laugh, about how clothes affect your mindset.
Oh, it's so true. It really, really affects me.
Yeah.
Massively.
And then we've done this transformation and you get a recording. There's a recording of this transformation, which I then send to the client and you listen to it for a certain number of days. So that's my rapid transformational therapy work. But in all of this, coming back, because I had these beliefs, these money blocks about that I wasn't enough or I wasn't worthy or it was wrong to earn lots of money.
Or to want money.
Or to want money. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of spiritual,
yes.
stuff around that, isn't there? People feel that if you're spiritual, you shouldn't want,
or you shouldn't have any possessions.
Yeah.
Or you shouldn't want anything. And so that got me into, we partly touched on it in my RTT training with the rules of the mind. So I'll give you 2 examples of the rules of the mind. The mind learns by repetition.
Yes.
So when you're a child,
again, the mind learns by repetition, and the mind learns by repetition.
The mind learns by repetition. But you
see what
are repeating. Yes, I do. I saw that. That's a bit cheeky.
Subtle, wasn't it?
Yeah, very subtle, girly. Very, very.
Hello, Helen, by the way.
Oh, hi, Helen. So the mind learns by repetition. So when you're a child and you in your family and you go to school and you're told money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil, that's what you're hearing all the time. Or you go to school, you're not good enough. Your brother's better than you. You are a sponge.
Yeah.
And those people around you are literally destroying your mindset because they're creating a negative mindset. So then after Rules of the Mind, I started, I met Michael Lozier, who is the king of law of attraction. And he's amazing. He's Canadian and he speaks incredibly fast like this all the time. And he inspired me. I met him on Clubhouse, actually.
Oh, cool.
I got quite into Clubhouse.
I remember that. Clubhouse. No one ever talks about it anymore, do they? That was a big lockdown phenomenon.
Yes, but I still go in because Michael's on there. And I'm like a bit of a buddy of Michael.
You schmoozing with a big name.
Yeah. And so I got to that point where I asked Michael about the law of attraction and he said, well, why don't you come and train as a facilitator? So I'm nearly at the end of my training for that.
Oh, wow.
But was law of attraction like I'd never heard about it before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, you do all the normal mood boards and that's, we call that the law of attraction, don't we? We pretend we decide what we want, we put it on a mood board, and it's on in our office, and we're believing it's going to happen, we're wanting it to happen, and we're doing that. But then he shot a little cheeky one over the bows and said, but are you allowing it to happen? And I went, what do you mean? What do you mean? He said, yeah, you're believing, you've got all this, but allowing is, do you think you deserve it? If you don't think you deserve it, the universe hears in your heart.
Yeah.
The universe is checking in with us all the time. The law of attraction is checking in all the time. So basically, how he explains it is, if you inside are going, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve it, but I want and I believe, and I've got all these things going on, and this is what I want. And then you go inside yourself, oh, but I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, nobody said I'd come to much. We are then it's just at a standstill.
Yeah. Well, there's also, I think I'm sensing a rabbit hole here, a very good rabbit hole, right? So I'm quite passionate about the fact that the law of attraction, there's a lot of emphasis on the law of attraction, isn't there?
Yeah.
And what people don't perhaps always understand is there's 11 other laws of the universe at play here.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes.
And
yes.
one of them is, is around this feeling of expectation, expecting
yes.
something to happen actually is part of it. And I think The Secret and all of that stuff is fantastic. But what it perhaps makes people believe is that you can just sit there and order what you want from the universe, and it'll pop up if you think hard enough about it. But it doesn't work like that, does it?
No.
There's a lot of other things at play, and actually, we're talking quantum physics here, aren't we? That's what it comes down to, really.
And I get so excited when you say that word, quantum physics.
Me too. I don't understand it, but I love it.
But also there's things tied in like gratitude, and I learned this amazing thing. It was called aggregato. It's a Ken Honda.
Arigato. Arigato my money all the time. When I get emails coming through from people, like paying membership fees and things like that for Rebel Yell and I'm like arigato every single
I love arigato. So basically with arigato, just the people who are listening to this before we ramble on.
Getting so excited.
Basically, arigato is a Japanese word, and it basically means to be grateful for what you give, whether it's money or service, without. So instead of saying, oh my God, I can't pay my bills, just go, thank you, electricity company. Thank you, water company, for providing me with all those beautiful services.
And also, like, thank you that I've created this.
Yes.
An opportunity for appreciation.
Yes, absolutely. And then you have it when it comes in, however small the amount it is, down to 1 penny. We've got to go down to real nuts and bolts here. You have to be thankful for everything that comes into your life, whether it's a penny or a person. I mean, arigato to Emma is what I say. We met through a lovely person. And Lisa, lovely Lisa. And I met her through joining something when I lived in Yorkshire, the BNI. And it's like, it keeps giving to me, these beautiful people.
Spirals out, yeah.
And that's what I think is beautiful. So what I've really looked at is, yes, I wanted to create this lifestyle for people to lead, but my passion has now become their mindset, because you can't do anything without creating that mindset, because the rigid thought patterns, which was another post I did on Instagram this morning, because I'm just in love, I'm really in love with doing reels on my
I
dog.
love it. How do people find you on Instagram, by the way?
It's at the moment, it's Metanoa Lifestyle _official.
Snappy. So Metanoa, how do we spell Metanoa?
METANOIA.
_lifestyle.
No,
Or just
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
_
official. I mean, I want to change it to Metanoa Mindset, but I don't know how. I've got to. I might be good at this bit, but I'm not very good at that bit.
You have to jump through the meta hoops, to do all that.
But interesting, they changed their name to Meta after I'd chosen Metanoa. So I mean,
yeah, weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I have the power, you see, at my fingertips. So, so that's how it was really locked down. Things falling into place, wanting to retrain, having ambition. I trained as a life coach in my early 30s, but then
do you remember that life coach when people did
Yeah.
life coaching qualifications?
And
Wow.
but I always wanted to do it. But then I had a husband with a job, a child, and at the time I didn't have the correct mindset.
Right. Okay.
So I sort of fell at every hurdle because I wasn't in the space to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me look back again at my journeys of being that middle child, unconfident. I went to a school where they all knew my sister, and my sister was brilliant at English, but I was really fantastic at maths. But no,
You
you're
were
not
living
as
under
good.
her shadow.
Yeah, I was
Right.
only 2 years under her, and all the teachers loved her for her English and her music, and maths and science are just not what girls do. You're not, you know, I come from the generation, of course, where you just didn't do maths and science as a girl.
Funny enough, we were talking about this on Monday when I did the role model thing with the year 8, that, you know, there's a lot of girls out there now who can embrace that, but
amazing.
Traditionally, not so much.
And interesting enough, my daughter did maths and science.
Wow.
And she did a maths degree.
Amazing.
So yes,
like
it worked.
Maths degree, I mean, that's full on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Commitment to the numbers.
So, and I was bullied at school because I wore glasses. And in my day, you know, they were these foul National Health pink, blue, or white glasses, not trendy like these, you know. I'd have died for a pair of these as a child, I can tell you. So I was very bullied at school, and I sort of went, in our generation of women, it sort of wasn't an accepted thing to go off to university unless you were a particular echelon of woman.
Right.
So the choices we were given.
Echelon.
Yes, I love that word.
I love words anyway. Just words are great.
Yeah. So I wasn't sort of in that class. I was in the standard sort of middle class families, and the choices we were given is teacher, nurse, or administrator.
My mum always says she's like in her 60s now. She got, I think it was cook, seamstress, or secretary, something like that.
Yeah, right. So I mean, secretary, administrator, just bundled into one, really. And so my sister had gone off to be a teacher, and there was no way I was going to follow her because I wanted to run away from comparison.
Right.
So I said, no way am I going to be a teacher. And then I didn't fancy being a nurse because I'm not a kind of person. I'm not very good with sick.
Yeah.
And then so admin was all that was left for me. Yeah, pink jobs and blue jobs, love that. That's brilliant. That's exactly how it was. Absolutely. So I went off to be an administrator, got a job at Marks and Spencer's, which was all very well. But then I was in the Clapham train crash.
Oh, wow.
I'd been staying with a friend, and we were on the train, and this is sort of one of those listen to your gut feeling, or however you want to put it in a box, however you want to frame it. I, in my head, had somebody screaming at me, going, "Move up the train."
Oh God, I'm getting major goosebumps.
So in my head,
wow,
all I could hear was, "Move up the train, move up the train." So
was this before, like, how long before the impact?
I'd say 5 minutes.
Oh wow, that's
right. So we're in the back carriage. I'm with friends, and I say to them, "We've got to move up the train." They look at me because we've got seats, and of course, it's an honour to get a seat on a commuter train from Hampshire, where it's going from. And literally,
I
said,
mad,
"I'm
right?
off. I'm off."
Wow.
So they look at me, and they said there was something in my face, and they wish, they say to me now, "We wish we'd have had a mobile phone with a camera on."
To
Because
capture that, yeah.
they said it wasn't my face.
Oh. Wow.
And then they followed, and literally that carriage was wiped out, and most people were killed in the carriage. So that was sort of the start of my journey of knowing to listen to my gut feeling.
Hell yeah.
But the problem is, I come from a very
logical,
rational, family, and I talked about this, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, you were just lucky, you're just lucky. You felt you needed to move up the train," but nobody was talking to you, because that does not happen. That's not real. So of course, misconvention at the time went, okay, I'll just carry on. And we got no trauma help at all. Nothing.
Well, no.
Nothing. We literally walked up the railway line and went to our job at Marks and Spencer's.
Wow.
And nothing was said about it. Nothing.
It's crazy, isn't it, when you think?
And then I got married at 24 and had my beautiful daughter, Charlie, and I'm still with my fantastic husband. He's my soulmate, and he's a very high achiever, great earner. So there's never been a desire to go, right, do you know what? I've got to go out and follow my passion and earn money. I'm very happy. I was brought up in an era as, again, husband, wife at home, looking after children. So I didn't have anything bigger outside my box.
Yeah.
Then 7 years, when my daughter was 7, but we didn't know about it at the time. So I'll skip forward a few years. When my daughter was 13, I was rung by the school. "You need to come into the school. The police are here." And I'm going, "What?" "No, just you need to come into school. Your husband needs to come as well. And you need to come right now." So I'm in the middle of my financial services job that I just did because I don't like to be a lady at the lunches kind of girl. I like to do something and contribute just a little bit. So I was in my job. I got up, went to see my boss. "I've got to go to school. And we are literally marched into a room with 2 police officers.
Wow.
And the police say, "Right, we're going to interview you. You're under caution."
And you still have no idea at this point what the hell this is about?
Nope.
Jesus.
No clue. So basically, my husband and I are sitting there, we're talking to the police, and they're talking to us, and my husband and I are looking at each other going, "What's this about?"
Oh my God.
And the policeman goes, "You're under caution for child abuse."
Oh, your world must have just crashed down on you.
And my husband and I looked at each other, and I could tell the policeman sort of thought they looked so shocked that actually I might have judged this wrongly. But of course, most likely it's a family member. And that's what we have to remember. In most cases, it is a family member.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked to the police, and they said, "Well, this is what your daughter has told us, but she hasn't told us who it is." And it didn't happen. It happened when she was 7. So that's why I said, and really interesting, when we looked back, she stopped crying. But we had this light. How, I mean, we did it. She didn't tell us because it was at knife point and they said that they'd kill us if she told them.
Oh my God.
Of course, for a child at 7,
Poor kid.
then, you know, they wouldn't say anything because they wouldn't want to lose their mum
No,
and dad.
you totally believe that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
So we got to the point, and she obviously through this time was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and in this space we'd actually had a very nice life. She was very musical and played for the National Children's Orchestra for the Queen's first Jubilee. You know, the Queen's I can't remember, must have been the first one, that not the Silver Jubilee, but the next one.
Yeah. Would it
So
have been golden?
yeah, golden, must be golden. So she played there. She had a pony. She show jumped. She went to acting classes. She led this, what we thought was a really normal childhood life. And we were always, I mean, we were looking back, if we'd have known, we probably wouldn't have pushed her. But actually, she says now the best thing we did was keep her busy and push her all the time.
Right. Okay.
So we then have a child with post-traumatic stress disorder, and it gets even worse because we were at a horse show, and she was doing a round of jumping, and she literally was doing this round of jumping, and literally it stopped. And I thought, what are you doing, you stupid child? You know, why have you stopped show jumping? And literally, we got her off the horse and she couldn't walk.
Wow.
And this is what trauma can do.
So it could just completely frozen her.
Yeah. And it can happen very, very fast. She was in a wheelchair for 6 months.
Wow.
So during this time,
shows you how toxic it is, though, doesn't it? And how important it is to address it.
Absolutely. So I worked out a lot of things. You know, she self-harmed, she tried to commit suicide, all these things. And meanwhile, I'm a mum, I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. I like to make things better. So I got her doing an exercise regime to, you know, even in a wheelchair, we were exercising, you know. You can do amazing things in a wheelchair exercising. We did lots of breathing because I'd learned about breathing and healing. And so I have a real passion for getting people better with trauma, because unlike most parents with self-harm, we actually had a beautiful drawer, laid it out with all this in velvet and gold things, and the implements were in the drawer. And when she wanted to self-harm, we sat down together.
Wow.
So it wasn't us going, no, you shouldn't do that. Pull yourself together.
Wow.
So
that's brave.
Yeah. Well, it's better to be there and be able to get the plasters quicker. And
wow.
So that's
we should have put a trigger warning on this one. I didn't expect this.
I'm sorry if it's
no, it's okay. You know, these conversations happen organically, don't they?
I think it's an honor to be able to talk about it openly.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is, I was mindset coaching my daughter. I was resetting her mindset before I even went into RTT. And if I'd have known about RTT, it would have really helped. But that's just part of my journey. And then I got to a point, we'd done all this trauma. She went to university. We went to live in America. And I mean, she's a very determined young lady, and and I wonder where she gets that from. I can laugh at myself for that. So therefore, she has helped herself get better as well. I mean, it's been a family affair. You know, we've all.
And I mean, that's must have been incredibly healing for her, because there must be so many families that break down as a result of that huge trauma, that it breaks down relationships, that, you know, that communication is not what it should be, that maybe the child is carrying then the burden of guilt and fault and all of these things, and the parents carry that as well, and so many layers.
I did blame myself for a long time.
Right.
But blame doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't heal you. It doesn't heal you.
Yeah.
And so that sort of link, you know, when we came back from America, we were in Yorkshire. She got her first class honours degree. She's now a teacher. Hence why I'm not going to say her name, because obviously that's not a good idea. And she and she's got her house. She's got a lovely man. You know, it's absolutely wonderful. She, you know, she was at a CrossFit competition, the Winter Soldiers at Peterborough at the weekend, which I went to watch. And, you know, my goodness, strength and determination.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Is a real inspiration. But meanwhile, I've sort of got all these tools in my toolkit, and I've got this determination and this resilience and this want to help and guide people. And for me, during lockdown, I created this sort of lifestyle of keeping fit, learning new stuff through Mind Valley, did loads of different courses with Michael Beckwith, and
he's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's amazing. And so it sort of got me to doing, I found Metanoia, the name, I created a lifestyle, and I thought that's where I'm going to go with it. But literally in the last week, it's become Metanoia Mindset and the Mindset Reset, and to go from your now to your wow with your reset, because we have to do that first step. If I teach everybody how to be fit, how to eat healthily, how to do this, and they don't have this, they haven't had the mindset reset, it's all going to fall down. It's going to be like the house you built on sand.
Yeah.
And so it's suddenly become a passion. Oh, well, in the last 48 hours, I have to say.
Hot off the press, people.
Yeah, hot off the press. It's all about mindset reset and, you know, just having gratitude for things, you know, appreciating what you've got, however small you think it is, because compared to another person, you have a palace, you know. And also to concentrate on you. Don't compare yourself to me or Emma or anybody. You are you. You are unique. You are amazing. And you are here for a reason. But in order to be there, you have to be grateful. You have to get out of that rigidity of your comfort zone.
Or believing you're unlucky.
Yes.
That was one of the things that really helped me change how I was from my 20s onwards. The practice of gratitude and understanding how powerful that was.
Absolutely.
And it's now a habit, you know. It's definitely a habit, and something I keep, you know, I often catch myself, you know, if I'm in a little bit of a spiral or feeling sorry for myself, I will often catch myself and go, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Look at all this. Look at all the things you've got. And I don't mean just material things. I mean, I mean love, I mean talent. I mean things about me that I like. And it does, when you get that into your mindset as a pattern of thinking, it is a massive foundational element of this elusive thing that we chase called happiness, you know.
Yeah. And what is, you know, happiness is different to so many people.
Yes, it is,
my version of happiness isn't your version of happiness. Isn't the, you know, Charlotte's version of happiness. You know, we're all on our own journeys, and we've been built up into a society where we try and squeeze everybody into the same box. And
Well, speaking of boxes, actually, Andie, I wanted to. So I remember when we were talking about doing this interview, and we were kind of queuing it up.
yeah,
You told me a story, didn't you, about a phone call that you received? Would
yes.
you be happy to talk to us about that? Because this is real good rebellious stuff here that I think people could benefit from if you're comfortable to talk about it.
I think so. Just tell me which phone call.
There's been a few. So somebody that you know that said they didn't like how you were now
That,
going on their
yes.
life.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is a good one for people.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody bothered to phone me up out of the blue. Hadn't seen this person for quite a while. They'd seen my posts on Facebook and Instagram, and they phoned me up and said, "Hello, Andie." And I thought, oh, this is blast from the past. Good catch up, in my lovely jolly way. And they said, look, I don't like what you're doing. It's not you. And I went,
Wow.
well, what do you mean it's not me? You're always the quiet one. You're always the one that doesn't say what you think. And we like you like that. And I went, well, and I, yeah. And I basically said, well, do you know the me you're talking about doesn't exist anymore?
No.
I said, this is me. And
And
if you
was
don't
only
like,
ever a mask anyway.
yes. And but it's made me feel, and I could have taken it one of two ways. I could have taken it as, oh, I better get back in my box and shut down everything I do. But do you know what? And when I'm doing my post, I actually think of this person.
I love it. So you've used it as energy, as fuel. And this
Yes,
is like a beautiful rebellious tip, isn't it? When somebody disapproves of you, and
it's
it
brilliant.
feels like, you get that temptation, don't you, to go, oh, I better change again then, I better
Yeah.
modify.
No, we're
Fuck
not
that.
modifying. We're
Fuck
going out
that.
even more, going.
Too right. If you showing up the way you are is making you happy and it
Yeah,
feels authentic and you're doing that with integrity, then fuck you. Anybody who doesn't want that. You don't have to be
actually,
around them, do you? If you don't like someone, how they show up, you can opt out of that, and that's fine.
and I'm a great believer, people say, oh, I have to see my mum and dad. And then you hear this whole story about what their mum and dad, said to them or did to them. And I'm going, and I go, well, why? There isn't a rule that says you have to speak to your brother, sister, your friend that you've known for 20 years. If they are causing you toxicity, they do not need to be in your life. And I know that sounds really harsh, but
And it's not always
actually,
easy to make
no,
an
it's
exit
not
from that,
always easy.
but it's optional.
No, but none of this is easy.
No.
Discovering the true you is not easy.
No.
It's jolly hard graft and work. And I'm not, from where I was to now, oh my goodness, tears have been cried, hair's been pulled out, shouting and screaming is all part of the journey of creating who I am today.
It's really interesting, this reflection for me, because this whole rebel thing for me was born out of understanding or coming to terms with the fact that I am always outside the lines. I am always the one that goes, whoa, hang on a minute, I don't want to do that. Or that's not right, or whatever it is. And it's taken me a lot of pain and heartache to accept that that's the way I am. There are things about it that are good, and there are things about it I can modify. There are battles I should fight and ones I shouldn't. And what I've had to do as part of that coming to terms with who I am is to create an environment in my life where that part of me thrives, rather than fighting against my nature, my natural instinct to be the way I am. And I actually think the hardest part of that process is sometimes creating that environment, as well as railing against the expectations other people have of you, or the things about yourself that are challenging, actually trying, committing to those shadows, or those brilliant parts of you even, and being able to do that on a regular basis in your life. The only way to do that is to create yourself an environment where that is allowed, and that can be extremely difficult to do, whether it's leaving corporate life and building a business like I have, or extricating yourself from the people in your life that you're meant to care about and you're meant to be loyal to, but aren't necessarily good for you. That's really hard.
Very, very hard. And you and I, because you've had to learn to scale yourself back, and I've had to go completely the other way, knowing
it's interesting.
knowing I was a rebel inside, but never actually flexing it.
Well, some of it I've had to scale back, but I thought there's also been a lot of it I've held in for my entire life, that I'm now at the point where I'm like, do you know what? I know what I want, and I'm going to get it. And if you don't want to give me that thing, that's fine.
My advice to everyone here, or my learning to everyone here, is be true to who you really are. Because if the people around you love you, they will accept you.
How do people do that? Be true to who you are is a great piece of advice. How do people physically do that if they don't know how to? If they've never been allowed to do it, what are the steps that people can take to show up like that?
I think one of the most powerful things you can do is to sit down and write your life story.
Ooh.
In great detail.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've told you tonight about my life has come from me actually sitting down, writing my life story, and realizing that on the way through the good and bad, I have built this toolbox with resilience and determination, with love, with patience. And I discovered these as I wrote my story.
Right.
And even, everyone looks at anger as a negative emotion. But if it's in someone,
it has a propelling force to it, doesn't it? Sometimes it can be the thing that moves you forward.
So say somebody's got in a story they're a very angry teenager. Well, it's probably because life wasn't going the way they wanted. And actually, it's probably, if they looked at it, they probably would see that that anger propelled them to maybe do something. Yes, it could have been more negativity and gone down to the bottom. But like, there are some great examples of people. I mean, I'll take Oprah Winfrey. Okay, she was the lowest of American trash, which she would be called black trash. That's where she came from. She has had a really tough life growing up, and yet she has got where she is today. And she admits she had anger. She had she didn't trust anybody. She had loads of negative emotions, and yet she's been able to turn them around and be who she is today. And that's all to do with mindset. So if we understand our story, we have a chance to see all these tools we have in our toolbox. And those tools are unique to us. They're like our blueprint, because my life's very different from your life or anybody's here's life. So everybody will have things that they have gathered. So that's my first tip, is write your life story.
Amazing.
And it's like you're writing your own book. And actually, for if you've got children, it's a really fun thing to do with them. Obviously, there might be some things in your life you wouldn't want your children to know about, but you could write your own life story, and then you could put it away for when they're older, so that when they look back at you as their mum, they realize what it's like, leaving a legacy of who you really are. So I've written mine, and mine is typed out and put in a box.
Right.
But when I'm not here on this earth, which won't be for ages, but they will have this blueprint of my story and what I built from the story. So that's the one thing I would do. If you do suffer from a lack of confidence, anxiety, you have certain phobias that are holding you back, I would obviously recommend having a rapid transformational therapy session. So I'm going to be holding another Law of Attraction Money Blocks event. And for one lucky person, they are going to get a free RTT session.
Oh, tell us about that. How do people access this opportunity?
Right. It has not been released yet because it's hot off the press.
So we're the first?
Yes, to know about it. Okay. If you're interested, you can DM me on Instagram.
Amazing.
It's going to be...
repeat that, Metanoia Lifestyle _official.
Yes.
Metanoia is spelled METANOIA. In fact, I'm going to put this in as a banner as you speak. Crack on, as you were.
Yeah. So I would really recommend it because it changes lives. There is no doubt about it. It's changed a lot of lives. But I tend to blend it because I think, there isn't one tool for everything. So I do use a lot of law of attraction, rules of the mind in the session if you want to, if you want some coaching, mindset coaching before you have the RTT, you can have both. So the prize will be whatever that person feels they need most of.
Great.
Because for some people to go straight into RTT, that can be a barrier, and they might want to talk about other things before we get there. So that is the prize. I've just got to.
That's worth a lot of money, right?
Pardon?
That's worth a lot of money.
It's worth about £250.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is. It'll be in December. I've got to set the date. And
we've talked about this, haven't we?
I've done it though. I'm doing it.
Good lass, well done.
Reading my word.
Yeah.
So yes, that's what I'm going to be doing. Other tools I would say is, be grateful every day for everything you have.
I would definitely, I would definitely recommend that. And that, as a starter practice, to maybe kind of every night or every morning list 3 things that you're grateful for, absolutely. And have one of those things be something about yourself.
Yes, always.
Would be my biggest advice. And even if it's the worst day ever, there'll always be something you can pull up. Like I always use the example of I had a really nice butty at lunch. There's always going to be something.
Or the sun rises every single day.
Yeah, my bed's cozy. Or
I have 2 eyes, 2 ears.
I'm still here.
I'm still here. Some people wake up and they aren't here. They wake up and then they're not here. And at least we're here and we're alive.
That's surreal. That is, Andie.
Yeah,
that's quantum.
That's what I'm grateful for every day. That I've got another day to make a difference.
Yeah.
And you all make a difference wherever you are in your life. You are making a difference to someone. And arigato, I think that's just it's gratitude, but it's also the appreciation of energy in and energy out, which is all to do with flow.
Yeah.
And not, if you have so many expectations, I think you expect your day to go like this, you expect people to react like that. When the unexpected happens, it can totally throw you. And so I'd say get out of that rigid box. Don't expect people to behave in a certain way, because 100% they're not going to behave like you behave. Because they're not you.
You have to let go. You can try and influence people, can't you? But you have to let go of the outcome of what they actually do. That's been one of the hardest things I've had to learn over the years, and I have to learn it all the time, repeatedly, over and over again. And I'm better at it now. But it is
Oh, it's hard.
It's a battle, particularly when you have a certain kind of value system, and it's hard to accept that other people don't have the same value system. They have a different one. That's really
exactly.
difficult.
And we all have a different value system. So I think, you know, letting go of how your day is going to go, you know, because you can't control what's going to happen. So it's letting go of being in control, because nobody is in
It's
control.
an illusion.
It's a complete illusion. Anybody who thinks they're in control, stop right now, because you are not in control. And once you've let go and say, universe, just let it play, please.
Yeah, using a Peter Sage analogy, it's the understanding that life is a river, and if you sit in that river and you navigate the rapids and you allow it to do its twisty turny thing and you take whatever comes, that's much better than trying to fight the current and trying to bend the river to your will.
Don't be a salmon.
Or lying down and let it sweep you away and sweep you under.
And also, just remember, you know, just celebrate yourself every single day, because you are unique. You're the only one on this earth or in the whole universe who is like you. And
there's probably a lot of people out there going, thank fuck for that. I mean, Emma's case, because more than her would be a lot.
Yeah, but people would say that about me as well, Emma. My daughter constantly says, "It's thank goodness there's only one mum." You know, I'm quite out there. CrossFit competition. I am the rah-rah mum. I am the rah-rah thing going, come on, Chuck, come on. You know, you can do this. You're strong. You're brave. You're
powerful.
Yeah.
You are more than enough.
So yes, I think one of me is quite enough in this universe. So yeah, celebrate every day. Other things, I think it's realizing, and I think for a lot of people this is probably quite tricky, that it's okay to be me.
Yeah, not only okay, it's right that you are.
But the start of the process is the first step is it's okay to be me. And there's a little exercise that goes with this, which I'd quite like to challenge this group.
Please do.
Right. The first part of this exercise is to, you can get your lipstick, you can do a post-it note, and on the mirror that you look in every morning, you have a sticker that says, I am enough.
Oh, yeah. I did that a few years ago. In fact, I ended up editing it to you are more than enough.
Yes. Yeah. But as long as it's got the enough in, that's fine. And then the daring thing is to say to the mirror out loud, I am more than enough. I love myself. It's okay, or more than okay, or it's fabulous to be me. Now, I've got to the point now, I can look in the mirror and I can say, Andie, you're fabulous.
I love that.
It's taken years.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a brilliant way and a very simple way that you can start building that positive mindset towards yourself. This isn't about being positive to other people. The mindset reset is all about you. It's not about anyone else. It's about resetting you so you function at the level you deserve to function, that you go out into the world and be that person that you know you can be. You know you are talented. You know you are awesome. You know that you are the only one like you, and the world needs you.
And you're lovable.
Yes, that was my next statement, Emma. But you nicked it. Yeah,
I was with it.
You're with it. You're in there in my head.
Sorry for stealing it.
That's okay. You're allowed. It's your show, baby. I'm just the visitor. But no, I'm more than the visitor. I am the mindset
It would
coach.
be a bit bloody boring if it was just me talking to myself for an hour, wouldn't it?
Oh, wouldn't it? It would be, but I don't think it would actually. I think you're quite highly entertaining.
Thank you, bless you. Oh, thanks, Kay.
Oh,
Hope that little pup of yours
the
is
poor
he's a
little puppy.
cutie.
What breed
Little
is
buddy.
it? What breed is
He's
it?
what is he, Kay? Has he got Jack Russell in him and something else maybe? His name's Buddy and he's proper cute. Proper cute. Got right
Oh,
little character about him.
how lovely, Kay. Will you
Oh,
go and
thank
help
you,
your
Kay, for
puppy
that
out?
lovely feedback as
Yeah,
well.
lovely feedback. Yeah, I'm glad we've been able to. You're enjoying it because that's what this is all about. It's about
Kay is
sharing.
massively a rebel. We've got a great interview actually on YouTube with Kay from a while ago. Jack times Chihuahua times Shih Tzu times Westie. Blimey!
Oh wow, what a combo!
Full on, isn't it? Yeah, check out Kay's interview.
I'd love
on
to.
YouTube.
Yes,
It's
no,
really
that'd be
good.
amazing.
Kay's a massive inspiration. Anyway, as you were.
No, I think the world needs all our talents. That we're here not just to exist.
Yeah.
And you can move forward. You can do this. And as I say, start with those lovely, simple things: the gratitude, the mirror exercise, the going on a nice walk, doing something you love, reading your favorite book,
doing something for you.
Yes, and
I coached somebody fairly recently, and we got to this kind of point of, they were struggling perhaps with self-love and honoring their self, and one of the things that we came to was we were working on their value system. Actually, one of the things we came to is, what's one thing I could do today?
Yes.
For me, what's one thing I could do today to honor myself? And that might be having a shower, washing my hair, putting some makeup on when all I've done all day is managed to run around after everybody else. Or it might be sitting still in the garden and having a cup of coffee for 10 minutes. Or it might be, I'll take myself off for a weekend away. It's the big and little things that add up that are absolutely essential.
And like going, my peace every morning is taking my dogs out for a walk. And I use that time. I walk. When I'm walking out, I don't do anything. I go into contemplation. I do my gratitude on my walk. Then on my way back, I then have decided on the topic for my Instagram reel or Facebook reel. And so it's very off the cuff. And then I can't plan my Canva posts because it all reflects what I've been talking about in my reel. So everyone says, "Oh, you be really organized," and I go, "No, because I might not want to speak about that. And if I want you to go, I've then got to go in and cancel it." And so a bit like this interview, I am not a scheduler. I am
we had no script whatsoever, did we?
I'm a dynamic rebel. We like to wing it. I didn't want Emma to ask me. I said this to her. I don't want you asking the boring questions that I have to answer. Like, how did I get to the point of who I am? I wasn't going to be conventional about it. And, but I hope you've worked out who I am.
Definitely.
Actually, I love myself, and in a lovely way. This is not anything to do with my ego.
But isn't that weird that we have to apologize when we say these things? Like, we're in a society where we can't say.
Yeah, but I will
happily say, I fucking love who I am. I love who I am.
Yeah, I do. But
we
it's
feel we have to apologize for that.
I have come to terms with. I think I've come to terms with who I am. I am now going out doing what I'm passionate about, and I am really passionate about this and getting everybody's mindset to reset. Because think of a world where we're all grateful for everybody who lives on this planet, giving their gifts freely, and then them taking energy back. Because I can give my gift to a person, but they've got their gift, and that gift might help my friend, or might help me.
Equilibrium.
Oh,
Yeah.
just think of the, it would be bliss.
It would.
And every person I can check, every person I can help is one more person in the world that can go out and be themselves and love themselves and be proud to be themselves and just wake up every day going, I am absolutely fabulous. I love
Smash it.
myself. And yeah, absolutely. So
Well,
that's my mission.
That's what, sorry?
That's my mission.
I love it. I think on that note, we've put some of the world to rights there.
And I hope you've all learned something.
I definitely have. That's been amazing. It's that's been just a massive boost for me today.
Good.
And I think there's probably a lot of people out there. We've had some good numbers tonight. I think there's a lot of people that will have benefited from the things that you were saying. Marianne has just commented, "You're so welcome." It's lovely to have you on here, Marianne.
We've loved doing it. I just love being passionate about what I want for the world, and I love helping people.
And it's so nice to get. I love doing this because we get so many different characters. We get so many different characters, and ways of doing rebellion, and you're absolutely a role model for that, Andie, and I massively thank you for your time. And please go follow Andie on Metanoia Lifestyle _official on Instagram. Check out that offering that she's got. Wait for the launch of that offering in December, and you could be the winner of that RTT session, which is real transformational stuff. Do not underestimate that. And I'm going to put this on YouTube at some point, so please go follow Emma Shaw, Chief Rebel. If you're not already in the Rebels and Rule Breakers group, come see us for more of this good juicy stuff. Massive thank you, Andie. I'm going to play us out with some music, and let's do a little wave.
Can I say it's been a great honor, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful because you are Chief Rebel.
Yay! Thank you, love. Thank you very much. Let me get my tech working. Right, let's do a wave. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for watching, everyone.